and still hasn't done so since. Now, keep in mind, Andrews also had a costly fumble earlier in that same game. So, Dan, I'll ask you this. Do you have a problem that he hasn't spoken to the media?
Absolutely not. And if you have a problem with it, I got nothing for you. And I would say other stuff. Dude, this guy's an all-time great Raven. And in that situation, like, not only does he have two crucial plays that rip at you, and you think about it from your playing that game and all the work that you've done from a kid to put yourself in that situation. This dude's fighting stuff inside right now that sucks to go through. And you know that's a Super Bowl winning team or Super Bowl caliber team that you kind of let down. And Lamar's your boy. And you've let your boy down in that situation a little bit. I got no problem with Mark taking whatever the time he needs to do. This dude's been a professional his whole career. I got no issue with that at all.
How many times have I had to have a conversation with you on the air and off the air about being like that? How many times have I told you about being like that when you sit up there and say, I got nothing for you, and I'd have other words?
Yeah.
Right. Why? Listen, we're not talking about him having to deal with insults and shrapnels of criticism being thrown in his face.
Sure.
We're talking about a consummate professional,
yes, sir,
who's exercised professionalism throughout his career, that understands what comes to it. Cam Newton, forgive me for bringing this up, but you'll get my point. When you talked about how it haunted you that you didn't dive on the ball for the fumble, right? I don't recall you being able to avoid the media after the game. A matter of fact, minutes after losing the Super Bowl, he had to talk to the media.
Sure.
Most players do. I understand the sensitivity that you're bringing to it, Dan, but there are too many players throughout history that have told all of us, especially the reporters, when players don't do that, it leaves the onus on other players to do it for them. Lamar Jackson had to go up there and talk about Mark Andrews. John Harbaugh had to go up there and talk about Mark Andrews. The other players had to talk about what transpired. When you go through what you're going through, there's a level of adversity that's coming your way because it's on you. The drop 2-point conversion, the strip in the middle of the field while y'all driving for a touchdown. When you're going through that, you have to be the one to answer the questions. You can't leave that. You can't leave it alone, because when you leave it alone, you're leaving it on others.
Putting on the shoulders of
and if everybody else gets called out for that,
Cam,
why can't he?
Cam, before you jump in, so this was a What Are You Mad About yesterday with Mad Dog, and he was mad about it. And every single person, him, Kimberly, Jeff Saturday, we're all on Stephen A's side. I'm with you.
And Cam will speak to this.
Yeah, Cam.
It's a little bit different when you're a quarterback. Like, as a quarterback, you do it all the time.
Yeah.
That makes it different.
Cam?
I'm going to go with the unpopular pick, but I want everybody to keep this same energy in other commodities, in politics, in entertainment, in sports, no matter what it is. And we haven't been holding people to the same fire. So, Mark Andrews, it's okay, bro. You ain't got to talk to nobody. Because in other networks, there's lawsuits that's been out. We ain't heard nobody say nothing about that. Now, we got other things that's coming up. When there's a Fox report that comes out and we haven't heard anybody speak about anything or make any type of public announcement, nobody has held Fox to that same thing. So why are we talking about making a big fuss about Mark Andrews if you're not going to keep that same energy across the board? That's what I'm saying.
He's saying in all different industries, people don't have to.
I just didn't understand what he was saying. That's all. I didn't know.
He's just saying in all different industries, people don't have to be held accountable and go in front of a mic right away. So,
and listen, I fully, Mark's going to talk at some point. Like, he's going to, but to sit here and say, well, then it puts it on Lamar. Lamar's going to have to talk no matter what. He's the quarterback. They were going to ask Lamar about it no matter what. They were going to ask Coach Harbaugh about it no matter what.
I'm told we have to bump.
You know, we have to bump, but I want to say we can get back to this at any time, because I think the positions that y'all have taken are weak.
Wow.
No, they're not.
They're very weak. They're very weak. They're very weak positions. And we can discuss later.
He's not running from it.
Really?
He's not running from it.
Hide it? What word you want to use?
Stephen A.
When he hide it?
Stephen
What is it?
You think it's better he has a camera in his face and he says the wrong thing?
No, what I'm saying to you is that you lost the game.
Nah, you lost more than a game.
Stop. I don't mean, I didn't say a game. I said the game, meaning that loss primarily was on Mark Andrews.
I got you.
That's not for somebody else to answer. That's you.
Stephen A.
Is it the National Football League or is it Pop Warner? What am I missing? I respect him. I'm not disrespecting him. Only reason we're bringing it up is because y'all are acting like there's absolutely nothing wrong with him avoiding.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. But keep that same energy in corporate, entertainment, politics, and all across the board of media.
Fine.
If you make a mistake,
I could do it. We in entertainment. I'll be damned. I'm running. I ain't being hypocritical here. If you mess up, you got to answer the question. That's all.
Okay, here's my pushback to that comment is this. One, if you mess up, Stephen A messes up, it's more often going to be the most impactful to Stephen A.
Okay.
When Mark Andrews messes up in that game, it's most impactful to his team.
Okay.
And then the second thing is this. Mark Andrews getting up there after the game and going, yes, I dropped the ball. It was a meaningful play and my fumble hurt our football team. It doesn't change anything.
It's not about what it changes.
Nothing.
It doesn't change anything. I'm not trying to imply that it does.
He wasn't disrespectful.
I didn't say he was.
So what do you want from him?
All I'm saying, listen, the question was asked as professionals if you have an obligation that you honor every other time, but then the one time it's on you.
Actually, I have a question.
You can't be found. That's a problem.
I have a real question for both of you as players. How does that work in terms of if he wants to skip the media? Like, does the Cam?
Have him in. He's a way more better.
Yeah, how does that work? Does the coach? Does somebody have to give you permission that you can miss out on talking to the media, or
no?
How does that
go? Your contract binds you to make yourself readily available after the game, right?
Okay.
But if you do not want to talk to you, it may come with a fine if they don't act. You can't force somebody to talk to you, nor can you avoid somebody from talking to you, right?
Yeah.
So I see it through a way where, Stephen A., you already know what he's going to say. Hey, I apologize. I put myself in a position that cost my team. All those things are we already know what's going to come from it. It's not going to change the narrative of what we already know and knew.
Any reporter that tells you definitively they know what somebody is going to say, so there's no need to ask, should lose their job today. That's not what comes with the business, bro. I can't go to the locker room and go like this. I don't need to talk to Cam. I know exactly what he's saying.
I mean,
I can't do that.
No.
You're looking for a soundbite. I don't think he's saying.
Okay, but understand this, Stephen A. You know, you being a person who is highly regarded in this media space, if you had to ask the question to Mark Andrews himself, what would you ask Mark Andrews?
I would ask Mark Andrews, those two plays is widely believed to have cost this team a chance in the AFC Championship game. What do you have to say about that?
I'm sorry. I apologize. It dropped pass. You look at my report. I haven't dropped many, but this one was extremely other drop.
Right there.